Hey guys, this is Trainer Dino here, and this is the second part of What If Paul Challenged the Battle Frontier. In the last part, we saw Paul start his new journey in the Kanto region to challenge the Battle Frontier along with his new Torchic. After having the battle between Ashes Infernape for the third time, he saw that he needed to go back to his roots of being a Pokemon trainer, so he made a conscious decision to start his journey all over again. So without further ado, let's begin. Part 2 of What If Paul Challenged the Battle Frontier. Paul reached Viridian City and after healing up his Pokemon was confronted by a young man named Joey. He challenged Paul to a Pokemon battle. Paul sent out his Torchic and Joey sent out his Rattata. This wasn't even a close fight as on the way to Viridian City Paul had trained up Torchic and together they were able to defeat Rattata handily. After this, Paul continued on to the Viridian Forest. There he met a lot of bug catchers and defeated them easily. The Viridian Forest proved to be an excellent training ground for Torchic as it had type advantage over the bug Pokemon there, and it allowed Torchic to grow at a faster rate. Just at the exit of the forest, Paul was confronted by another trainer. This was named Samurai. He challenged Paul to a Pokemon battle and sent out his Pinsir. Paul sent out Torchic yet again. This was a difficult battle indeed, as Pinsir was able to evade Torchic's Ember over and over again. Paul, taking a page out of Ash's book once again, allowed ordered Torchic to jump in the air and use Ember while spinning, creating an Ember counter shield. This proved too much for the bug Pokemon and it was defeated after a tough battle. Before leaving, Samurai asked Paul for a favor. Paul asked what it is, and said to him that there is a Ghastly roaming around in the forest and it had been causing a lot of trouble to the bug catchers. They could not beat it because Ghastly has the typing Ghost and Poison, both of which resist the bug attacks. After this, Paul went on and battled the Ghastly. It used its counter shield by Torchic and trapped Ghastly, thus disabling its ghostly movements between the trees. After a tough battle, Paul was able to catch Ghastly as well. Although Paul had caught two fairly strong Pokemon, he knew that they were nowhere near the level to challenge any Frontier Prince. So he knew that he needed to do some basic training and take it to the next level. And what better way than to test them in the Pewter City gym? He arrived to the gym and was expecting Brock, but however, instead of Brock, there was a young man who looked like Brock. This was of course Forrest, Brock's younger brother. He had taken up the mantle of gym leader after Brock left. The battle begins and Forrest sends out Geodude. But this Geodude looks entirely different from the normal one. Upon further inquiry, Forrest tells him that this is an Alolan Geodude from the Alola region. Its typing is rock and electric. Paul is impressed by this and sends out his newly caught Ghastly to test out. Although Ghastly used Nightshade and its speed to confuse and attack Ghastly from different angles, I'm sorry. Although Ghastly used its speed and ghostly movements to attack Geodude from different angles, Geodude's defense was impregnable, and after a powerful spark, it knocked Ghastly out. Paul thought that was a fluke and sent out Torchic yet again. Once again, he used his Ember counter shield technique, but Geodude was able to break through using rollout. However, this proved to be a huge mistake as just as Geodude broke from the Ember counter shield, he was met with a point-blank Ember. This caused a burn and eventually knocked out Geodude. Forrest sent out his Onix next, and this was a complete mismatch, as Torchic was not able to do any significant damage despite using Ember counter shield over and over again. Eventually, Onix wrapped up Torchic in a bind and squeezed hard. As Paul watched newly his new starter Pokemon get his life choked out, he thought of stopping the battle, but Torchic was determined not to disappoint Paul, and eventually it led to him evolving into a Combusken. Combusken immediately broke free of the bind and started attacking Onix with double kick. Forrest ordered Onix to use Dig, as it burrowed underground. Paul ordered Combusken to fire an ember straight into the hole, and this was a much more powerful ember than that of Torchic. This caused Onyx to immediately come out of the hole, and Paul once again ordered an ember countershield, but this time it turned into a fire spin which completely trapped Onyx. One more powerful double kick later, it was over. Combusken had defeated Onyx and won Paul the Boulder Badge. However, when Forrest went on to give him the Boulder Badge, Paul declined as he said that he already had this badge and this was just a warm-up for his match against the Frontier Prince, as his Pokemon were newly caught and needed experience of a serious battle. Forrest thanks Paul for the battle and tells him they'll have a rematch when Paul has his full team. Paul agrees to this and thanks him before leaving. So guys, that will bring us to the end of part 3. It was a relatively short part because the script was a bit limited here. Like there was nothing more to do between Viridian Forest and Pewter City Gym. But stay tuned for part 4. And once again, if you want to enjoy some more what ifs, please check out Ronin Charizard. He recently started his own Paul What If, which was What If Paul Went to Nova with Ash. I highly recommend you check that out. Give him a like uh, and subscribe to my channel for more content. Although I have put a like goal of 10 likes, I don't think that would be fulfilled anytime soon. So part 4 will be coming out soon. Stay tuned for that. Thank you. God bless.